I thought I'd just talk a little bit about the persona and the character that I inhabit, the reaction that I get. You mentioned yesterday at the game, the booze. First off, for most of my life, I have at times gone out and been booed, especially in an open, big type of setting like that. Not only does it not faze me in a negative way, but I eat it up. I love it. It makes me so happy. In the grand tradition of playing a heel and your wrestling world and all that kind of stuff, people want a person and a persona to direct their anger and criticism, whether it's faux anger or not. They still want someone to direct it to it, and they enjoy doing that. So I'll be your Huckleberry, no problem. So bring it on. You mentioned, yes, I was sitting next to my kids, and my kids, actually, I didn't have to sit them down at any point because they live in a modern world. We live in 2023, and it's next to impossible for me to screen or shield them from the world of information in which they live and which they live in. And so that the fact that there are people out there that say mean things, either online or in a stadium or on the street, is not any surprise to them. I will say that the interaction that I have individually is dramatically different than the interaction that I would have in a group, or in this case, a crowd setting. And as we've talked about it before, it's much easier in a group setting to do things that you normally wouldn't dare do in a one-on-one. My son was, first off, he was laughing on the car ride home when we started talking about it. And the first thing he did when he got home was go up and tell his mom, my wife, that, hey, Dad got booed at the game tonight. It was awesome. So I think already, and maybe it's just because of living in this type of world, has developed a thick skin and has developed an understanding and a nature of the difference between perception and the difference between reality, and the difference between who his father is on television or in an entertainment context to who his father is at home. So that's good. I'm glad that he has done that. I'm not going to lie to you. At times, I worry or worried that it might affect them, but they live their own lives and they have a million different things going on, and so most of the time, it's really they don't even care. And if and when it does impact them, it's in a way where, I guess it's family, Mosse. They feel a protective type of reaction is necessary, and I love that. They're very, very young, but that they've done that, which is what you should do. And I would do anything and protect them, if probably even more so from the outside. But they've developed a context, and they have developed nuance, which I know is oftentimes very, very difficult to find in this world, and that they are so young and still are able to do that says a lot about them. And so I remain incredibly proud of the way that they handle that.
I can vouch for the personal interactions. I've been with you on the road a million times, covering games, hanging out in hotel lobbies and such. And yeah, whenever people come up to you, it's always a love fest. Thank you so much for everything you've done, Alexi. We love you. And you're always very kind. You take pictures. Even in Doha, whenever we were done taping the pod and we would walk back to our offices, you'd always stop and take pictures with a million people.
Look,
so
I've said before, if the worst thing in the world is somebody wants to hang with you for a couple seconds and tell you how much they enjoy your work, or take a picture or sign an autograph, then you live a charmed life. And I said before, like, this is 15 seconds out of their lifetime that they are going to base their perception of me on. And so it might not be fair, but that's just the reality. I want to make sure that, that it's a positive one.
I'm sorry to keep harping this, but how old is your son?
I have a 14-year-old and a 17-year-old. 17-year-old daughter and a 14-year-old. I don't talk about them often, and you don't see them, and that's by design. But obviously I love them, and I'm incredibly proud of the young people that they are. They they play soccer, not at any high level. They follow soccer only because of what their father does. And they roll their eyes like like others do. So
my last memory of the young men, I mentioned this at the top of the pod. We used to tape this podcast in this different part of town, Playa Vista, where the digital offices used to be. And you brought him in a few times, and he sat in the chair right next to me as we were taping. And this kid could not sit still. He was shuffling around the chair the entire time. It was so distracting. I finally had to stop down one day and say, "Can you sit still so I can do this?" And
well, this kid now is taller than you and would kick your ass.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know. It's I appreciate you humoring him and tolerating him.
I'm good with kids.
You are incredible with kids. And to throw it back to you also, Mosse, in terms of the interaction that we have, as we said, when it's actually a personal interaction, it's incredibly positive, and people are wonderful and kind to me, and inevitably when I'm talking, even last night when I was talking to people, they will ask about you, and they will say, please give Mosse my best. Is Mosse around? I love Mosse. All of those different things, and so I'm constantly putting that in my bag and my pocket, and now I continue to bring them back out to you and tell you how much people out there love you and appreciate everything that you do.
You like that clip? Well, my State of the Union podcast drops twice a week right here on my very own YouTube page. The only way to stay up to date is to hit that subscribe button down below. Size the day, and see you soon.